Today, I've decided to put my skills and my sanity to the ultimate test. I'm going to be getting the Platinum Trophy for 3 games with completely different difficulty ratings. An easy 1 out of 10, a medium 5 out of 10, and an absolute nightmare rated 10 out of 10. And you'd better get ready, because that 10 out of 10 game was the single most difficult Platinum Trophy I have ever earned in my life. It was just insane. So, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, because if we hit 10,000 subscribers, I will Platinum Super Meat Boy. Yes, I'm that crazy. Now, let's get right into the video. Alright, let's kick things off with a game that's supposedly a 1 out of 10 on the difficulty scale. Roombo, First Blood. It promises a quick 1-hour platinum, so let's dive in. The objective is simple. We play as a heroic robot vacuum cleaner, and we have to take out all the home invaders to survive the night. That's right, we're a vacuum, and we're about to clean house, literally. So how does a humble little vacuum stop a bunch of burglars? By turning the entire house into a deadly playground, of course. We can drop ceiling fans on their heads, create slippery water hazards to electrocute them, and even get a little stabby with a kitchen knife. Possibilities for mayhem are endless. The game spans 6 nights in total. Well, 5 regular nights and a special bonus 6th night. If we survive them all, we beat the game. But the real prize is the collection of miscellaneous trophies we need to snag along the way. The first trophy I grabbed was Slippery Business. There's a suspiciously placed puddle of soup in the bathroom. I guess the homeowners have questionable dining habits. All you have to do is lure a burglar over to it, give a little honk honk if you have to, and watch them slip into a soapy oblivion. First trophy in the bag. After each round of burglar busting, it's our duty to clean up the bloody mess we've made. After all, we're a vacuum cleaner first and a vigilante second. The more you clean, the higher your score, which is key because we need to achieve an S+ rank on at least 1 level. Honestly, these burglars are so inconsiderate, they can't even die without getting blood all over the carpet. Now, as you might see, I had a few, accidents right at the start. Despite the guide insisting this is a 1 out of 10 difficulty game, I'm calling shenanigans. This is at least 2 or 3. A short game doesn't automatically mean it's an easy game. The later levels really start to throw you for a loop. The next trophy I snagged was for giving a burglar the cold shoulder. I lured him near the air conditioner and blasted him with freezing air. This actually unlocked 2 trophies at once. Ice to see you for freezing a burglar, and First Blood for my very first kill. Pretty cool, right? Next on the list was taking someone out with a ceiling fan. Let's just say he was a big fan of my work. Then some genius tried to climb through a window. I was waiting for him. The moment he poked his head in, I hit him with the very same window he was trying to break in with. That's what I call poetic justice, and it also earned me a trophy. I followed that up by getting a 2-for-1 special. A couple of burglars were standing a little too close to an electrical outlet. 1 spark was all it took to get the collateral damage trophy. After that level, I earned an A rank. Not quite the S I was aiming for, but I did unlock the Deadeye trophy for having over 90% trap accuracy. My aim was on point with 94% accuracy. This brings me back to my point about the difficulty. Seriously, whoever rated this a 1 out of 10 must have been the one designing the traps. By level 5, things get significantly more hectic. Level 5 was a real test of my vacuuming valor. The house was crawling with intruders, and I had to use every trick in the book to survive. It took a few tries, but I eventually cleared it. Then came the grand finale, level 6. This was the toughest of them all, with the maximum number of burglars. After a long and messy struggle, I finally beat it. The house looked like a crime scene from a slasher film. Let me tell you, if this game required an S rank on every level, it would be 10 times harder. Trying to keep the house clean while fighting for your life is no easy task. Thankfully, the developers decided to be merciful. During the chaos of level 6, I managed to pick up a few more trophies. I toasted a burglar in the fireplace for the Fire Festival trophy, and then served another one a deadly brew from the coffee machine to get Find Me a Macchiato Pronto. Beating level 6 earned me the Christmas Miracle trophy for completing all the levels. With the main story done, it was time to mop up the rest of the trophies. I headed back to the much simpler level 1. First up was Benny Hill, which required me to have a burglar chase me for 30 seconds straight. It was a little bit like a deadly game of tag, but I managed to keep him on my tail long enough to get it. While I was there, I also went for the S+ rank. With fewer enemies, it was much easier to keep the place sparkling clean. I finished with a 92% overall accuracy, which gave me both the This Is Mung trophy for the S+ rank, and another for finishing with over 90% cleaning accuracy. A sweet 2-for-1 deal. Next, we had a little nod to a famous anime with the Za Warudo trophy. Is that a JoJo reference? Yes, it is. For this one, I had to throw a knife at a burglar while in hack mode, the mode you use to activate traps. A quick hack, a precise throw, and the trophy was mine. Then came the cleansing. I had to trap a burglar in the shower. This guy was surprisingly shower shy. It took some real effort to coax him in there, but once he was trapped, the trophy popped. No killing required, just a forced bath time. Finally, only one trophy remained. And of course, it was a grind. I needed to defeat 50 burglars for the fourth law of robotics. I farmed this on the final level, and after about 20 minutes of relentless cleaning, I hit my quota. And with that, the Platinum Trophy, much loved Samurai Punk, was all mine. Overall, this game was a blast. It's a fun, short, and satisfying game perfect for when you just want to cause a little chaos. I highly recommend it, especially for fellow trophy hunters. Alright, after a lot of searching, I stumbled upon this incredible game called Darq. Here's the lowdown. Our main character goes to sleep and enters a lucid dream. Inside these dreams, we have to navigate a series of mind-bending puzzles to progress. Simple enough, right? Now, you might be wondering why this game is rated a 5 out of 10 in difficulty. It all comes down to a few nasty speedrun trophies with a razor-thin margin for error. The first few trophies I picked up were for collecting pages from a dream diary. There are 6 in total scattered throughout the game. Okay, now for a real challenge. For this next trophy, we have to solve a puzzle in under 12 seconds. The camera slowly rotates, and I have to input a sequence of moves, like up, down, left, right, before it completes a single turn. I have the combination written down. Let's see if I can pull it off. And I already messed up. Great. Okay, take 2. Wait, I got it. Oh my god, I seriously thought I was too slow. The camera had already started its next turn, and I was mentally preparing to restart the entire level. If you finish the puzzle and the time is up, you're toast. You have to do it all over again. But we did it. GG. Another diary page trophy, train rider, and patient. That should be all of them. Next, I got the perceptive trophy for activating 3 secret encounters with this mysterious kid with a bag on his head. After completing all the chapters, 2 trophies popped: Awaken for simply finishing the game, and Enlightened for finishing it after finding all the dream diary pages. And now, it's time for the trophies that give this game its 5 out of 10 difficulty rating. It's speedrun o'clock. First on the chopping block is Tower Runner, which requires completing the Tower chapter in under 6 minutes. This is, without a doubt, the hardest trophy in the game. You need a near flawless run. The margin for error is almost 0. And to make matters worse, pausing the game does not stop the timer. You basically have to memorize the entire level and execute it perfectly. While attempting this speedrun, I also managed to snag the Pyramid Master trophy for solving a pyramid puzzle with the minimum number of moves. Naturally, I was following a guide, and it still took me a good number of tries to get the speedrun right. Oh my god, finally! That 6-minute speedrun is absolutely brutal. And now I have to do the next level, which is even longer, in under 12 minutes. Let's see if it's harder or easier. As I said, the next challenge is Crypt Runner, for completing the Crypt chapter in under 12 minutes. This one is a bit more forgiving. You have about a minute of wiggle room compared to the tower's measly 15 to 20 seconds. Just like the last chapter, this one also has a puzzle-related trophy. I had to solve one in under 15 seconds for the Sharp Like Scissors trophy. It sounds insane, but you memorize the moves pretty quickly. While in the crypt, I also found all the hidden skulls, which netted me 3 more trophies: Jeweler, Quartz Skull Collector, and finally, Skull Master. After that, it was just a matter of repeating the chapter over and over until I could beat that 12-minute timer. Crypt Runner, we did it, finally, which means the Platinum Trophy, Complete Darkness, is ours. Man, what an awesome game. I seriously loved it. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend it. It's a bit pricey, but it is so worth it. The Platinum was a tough but rewarding challenge because of those speedruns. Alright, gear up people, because the time has finally come to Platinum, a game with a 10 out of 10 difficulty. This is by far the hardest Platinum I've ever attempted. And look, I've conquered some tough ones, like I Am Bread and Surgeon Simulator, not to mention a bunch of Souls-likes. So, without further ado, the chosen one was Doom 2. Released back in the 90s and responsible for creating the entire FPS genre, the Doom games are undeniably some of the most important in history. Doom 2 brought a ton of improvements over the first one, but it also brought an absolutely absurd level of difficulty. So, I know what some of you might be thinking. Wait, didn't we already see you platinum all the Doom games? And yes, you did. The funny thing is, this video right here, the one dedicated to the absolute nightmare that is platinuming Doom 2, was actually supposed to be released before that big video, but you know, things happened, it got delayed, and here we are. So, let's just rewind the clock a bit. Think of this as the prequel, the detailed origin story of just how I lost my sanity. This is the deep dive into the one game that almost broke me. This is all because of one specific trophy, which demands you beat the entire game on nightmare difficulty in co-op mode. Just to give you an idea, the creator of the game said he made this mode as a joke and didn't believe it was actually possible to beat. While it's technically possible, most players find it more frustrating than fun, since the game wasn't balanced for it. It feels more like a debug mode to test the engine's limits. But before we dive into that hellscape, let's grab the easier trophies first, starting with beating the game on the easiest setting. And I'll be honest, it was confusing and weird at first. After all, I'd never played a Doom game before, and in the classic ones, you can't move the camera up or down, only side to side. It took a while to get used to. Anyway, despite all that, the first few levels were pretty chill. Right at the start, I snagged a trophy for tricking one enemy into killing another. Another key thing about these classic Doom games is that to pass a level, you first need to find keys, blue, yellow, and red. With those, you can reach the exit and complete the stage. Moving on, I also got a trophy for taking environmental damage. In this case, I fell into this green gunk. I also earned a trophy for killing myself with the splash damage from my own rocket launcher. The levels here are split into 3 sections, 11 in space, 9 in the city, and 10 in hell, with a trophy for clearing each one. After getting to around level 12, I decided to restart the whole game from the beginning and try to knock out the speedrun trophy to save some time. For that, you have to beat all 30 levels in under 2 hours. It might sound insane, but it was actually manageable because when you pause the game, the timer also pauses. So I pushed through, eventually clearing all the city levels and grabbing that trophy. I was making good time. I couldn't see the exact timer, but according to my calculations, I was well within the 2-hour limit. But then, the single biggest screw up I have ever made happened. It physically hurt my heart. I was on level 30, the final level. All I had to do was finish it, and the speedrun trophy was mine. But by accident, while the game was paused, I hit L1, which loads your last save without even asking for confirmations. And just like that, I was back on level 9. Even worse, it was a save from my first playthrough where I took forever to finish the levels. There was no way to finish the speedrun from there. I had to start all over again from level 1. I was on the final level, man. Seriously, I felt my soul leave my body. So, as I was grinding through everything again, I picked up a trophy for killing 4 enemies with a single super shotgun blast. And then finally, the trophy for beating the game in under 2 hours popped, along with the one for clearing all the hell levels. Next, I went for the trophy for completing all the master levels, of which there are 20. That meant a good chunk of more time playing. This mode is a bit harder than the main campaign, but thank God I didn't have to do it on Nightmare. That would have been just too sad. After grinding through all of them, the trophy was mine. And then, the moment of truth arrived. The time to get the hardest trophy of my life, completing all 30 main levels on Nightmare difficulty. The catch? It has to be in split-screen co-op. This trophy was designed to be earned with multiple players, up to 4, locally, because there's no online. But since I had no one to help me, I had to play it solo. So, on the first level, I immediately got a trophy for killing my teammate. Now, my friends, I'm going to be real with you. This was painful. I pushed through this on pure, unadulterated rage. For those who don't know, the difference in this mode is that enemy speed and damage are increased by 200%, and they respawn after a random amount of time, which can be anywhere from a few seconds to a minute. The only advantage is that all the keys you collect and switches you press are saved even when you die. And let's be honest, if you lost your keys every time you died, this would be literally impossible. On top of all that, you can't save mid-level. If you die, you start from the very beginning. The only strategy I used was basically brute force. You just rush and die over and over until you get lucky and a miracle lets you grab a key. And that's how you progress, but it is complete chaos. If there was a death counter, it would probably be somewhere around 50,000. I'm not even kidding. It was about 30 hours in this mode, dying every 10 seconds. Somewhere in the middle of this mess, I got a trophy for killing every type of enemy. And all things considered, it was going okay. Even if I spent over an hour on a single level, I was eventually getting through them. But that all changed when I reached level 11. This one was just bizarre. I tried for hours to beat this damn thing. It made me want to break my controller every 5 seconds. And I just couldn't do it. I tried so hard, I swear. Until finally I gave up. Hold on, I didn't give up on the platinum, but on playing the current patch. In older patches, the game was a little easier, with the enemies being slightly slower. Because man, seriously, on the latest patch, it's just impossible. And it's not just me saying that. You literally have to be a god at this game to do it. And I hadn't even reached level 29 yet, which is known to be the hardest. To downgrade the game, I had to do some really annoying technical wizardry that I won't even explain here, but it made a real difference. It was far from easy, still complete chaos, but at least now I felt like it was humanly possible. I managed to beat level 11 after about another hour of trying. The next few levels were easier compared to level 11. Along the way, I got a trophy for finding a secret level. Another one popped for killing 12 enemies with a single BFG shot, which is a super OP weapon. And one for firing 200 consecutive shots with the chain gun. that one was actually bugged because I wasn't even trying for it. I just fired a little bit and got the trophy. I don't know why, but I'm not complaining. After many more hours, we finally reached level 29, the hardest of them all. This one is so complicated that you first have to go to level 28 to collect a ton of weapons and ammo just to prepare for it, because trying to beat it with the starting pistol is impossible. But this also means that if you die on level 29, you have to do everything all over again, starting from level 28. I got so pissed off trying to beat this thing that I decided to take a break and get the other trophies. There was one that required getting 100 kills in deathmatch mode, so I just set up my second controller and farmed the kills until the trophies pop. One for 25 kills, and another for 100. The next one was for finding all the secret levels. I was only missing one, so it was pretty straightforward. And now, with a calm mind, I went back and tried my luck on level 29 and finally succeeded. With level 29 conquered, the platinum was now within my grasp. Only one more level to go, which is much easier. You can just brute force your way through it until you pass, and with that, claim the platinum. This was, by far, the hardest platinum I have ever earned. I even thought about giving up halfway through, but you know how it is. Never give up, because sometimes you might be just one block away from the diamonds. And with that mindset, I did it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this story. It was a ton of work to get through, so if you could help out by leaving a like and subscribing, it would help me out a lot, seriously. And if we hit 10,000 subscribers, I'm gonna platinum Super Beat Boy. Yes, you heard that right. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to rest. I seriously went Joker mode doing this. So if you don't want to miss that video, go ahead and subscribe, man.